Have you ever noticed that conservatives are very good at blaming everybody else? In the United States, that would be the Republicans. Same deal. But they don't ever really have solutions. Now, nothing upsets a conservative more than the idea that an employee might be happy in their work. So the idea that all that stuff during COVID, which proved that not only were the people happier working from home, they were more productive when they worked from home. Well, that's not acceptable. So, according to our little tyrant-in-training, DouFord, as of last month, 60,000 people civil servants were supposed to be coming back to work 5 days a week in the office to prove that they were working and doing their job as if there was no way to prove it before. Except in typical conservative fashion, not purchased or leased any space for all of these people they expect to come back and work. And he will now be blaming for not coming back into work, even though they have no place to go to work. But it's their fault, because they had the audacity to go home during a pandemic and thus make it so that the government stopped leasing all these different places because they didn't need them. Even though it has been established in Europe that a 4-day work week will actually get you the most production value out of your employees. North America decided at some point in the late 80s, early 90s, that loyalty to your employees meant nothing. They still expect you to have loyalty to them as an employer, but they won't cover your back. They won't have any loyalty. They won't defend you at all. You know, even if you haven't done anything wrong, in terms of, hey, why not just get a cost of living wage increase? Nope, 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 nope. Of course, down in Florida, we got Death DeSantis trying to put through legislation so that you can get a job at less than minimum wage. Conservatives, always thinking of the little person, telling them that they have to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps, which is actually a physical impossibility. But they do it anyway. And then they end up with shit like this. Sort of like how when there was 3% of people on disability, Ontario disability, who were selling their OxyContin, the other 97% of us all got punished anyway, because 3% were doing something wrong. So nobody can do what those 3% did wrong. We will not punish those 3% for doing wrong any more than we've punished the doctors. We've gone after the pharmacy companies. We harass the patients who take the medication, but we don't go after the doctors who actually created the opioid crisis by handing them out in the early 2000s like they were freaking candy. Government employees, gotta love them. Most of them have a God complex and none of them deserve it. Just like the doctors.